Fireball summer, honeymoon lovers, seeing no colors. Love me all summer, making discovers under your covers. Go off, go off, go off. Go off, so go off, go off, go off. Go off. When you run it out, need to get unstuck, so go off.
Good afternoon and welcome to this Windmill Open game here in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. The sun is shining. We're really excited to see the matchup between these two teams. We have Tchac coming from France against the Mooncatchers coming from Belgium. This is a very exciting game we have here for you. This is going to be very competitive, we anticipate, and we're really excited to see what these teams are bringing us. My name is Rachel Douglas. I'm here with Benji Reese, who is kindly just hopped into the chair as we had an absence, I think a delay in my co-commentator being able to attend, but Benji's stepping up to the plate.
Are you as hyped? Oh, no, well, actually, stupid question. I know that you're as hyped as I am for this game.
Very hyped.
Tchac, fresh off heartbreak at the French National Championships last weekend, going down on Université is no good, which, by the way, you can watch that game and everything game from French Nationals live and for free on our YouTube channel. Looking to build now with a game against the Mercurial Mooncatchers. When they're on, they are red hot, and when they're off, you know about it.
I was chatting to Sean Colfer before the game, and he said something similar. He said that they're always amazing to watch because when it's good, it's amazing, but sometimes when it's not, it's
like car crash television.
Yeah, well, he chose some slightly choicer words, but yeah, similar vibes. But we're hoping that it all comes together for them this afternoon. We really want to see like a hugely competitive game, and we know that these players have it in them. So that's the first pull going up. Goes out of bounds. Tchac bringing the disc in.
It's quite a patient approach to begin here. Quentin Roger, aka Crash, chooses to lash it deep. He's looking for Mathieu Bosser. He makes the catch as he inbounds on the far sideline.
It's called good by the Mooncatcher sideline. Oh no, apologies, it's called...
Someone put their hands in the air, looking like they were signalling a goal, and then everyone carried on as if nothing happened.
It was a confusing moment. We always really appreciate teams using the hand signals, but then I think that was perhaps a decoy, a red herring.
Oh, I think maybe signaling where it went out.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. From this angle, it did look two hands in the air, looked like he was signaling score, but yeah, you're quite right. That's where the disc is coming in for Mooncatchers.
So, Mooncatchers ostensibly from Belgium, although the backfield at the moment has a very Latvian feel to it. Here's a deep shot. Can they find the target? It's brought down well. And flipped into the end zone for the lead. Mooncatchers with a break on the first point, 1-0.
Yeah, big spike on the score there, obviously really amped up to make sure they put that one in. Big celebration between the Mooncatchers, trying to keep their energy high, really excited to get that turn, get that score. Yeah, pretty pumped with that one.
Yeah, a good example is, again, maybe a slightly risky shot, but for Mooncatchers, this is kind of bread and butter for them.
Yeah, what we've been told to expect is sort of different looks, exciting options. You know, it's not necessarily just your kind of routine old play. It's not necessarily that they're going to stack up and make nice neat cuts and then take the very safe option. That's not necessarily going to be their chosen approach. So where we'd usually question some of their options, question some of their decision making, I think in this case we sort of have to suspend that instinct and just say, well, that's the Mooncatchers.
That's the Mooncatchers. Despite the fact that it is now 5:30 in the afternoon, it is still a glorious day here in Amsterdam.
Yeah, we're in the commentary booth. We have these amazing huge shade tents, but as the sun is descending through the sky, Benji and I have absolutely no cover right now. Benji seems to be sunning his forearms, trying to get that, even out that tan.
Or even out the burn, I think, more accurately.
There we go, Brits abroad.
Axel Roger finds his brother Canton. Looks for the option in the backfield. Gets the break off Abita. Here's Nissan. Axel Roger. Playing this quickly now before the Mooncatchers defense can get set. Excuse my hiccups. Bosse to Axel Roger. Back down the line to Bosse. That one's going to stick. Tchac on the board at 1 apiece.
I mean, if we're expecting some spice from Mooncatchers, I think Tchac have said there that they're going to do the fundamentals and they're going to do them super well. That was really beautiful. They kept so much space throughout that whole point. Like, as the disc moved up, the cutters made sure they were maintaining distance, keeping space, cutting hard, making space for their teammates. And they were just able to move that up and super comfortably put that into the end zone. So, I don't know, nothing spicy about that play, but delightful nonetheless.
Yeah, it's definitely... you heard the phrase "styles make fights"?
I have never heard that before. Is that a phrase?
Yeah, it's like a boxing or a like combat sports thing. The idea that it's about like two boxers or like fighters with two different styles. It makes it an interesting contest. If two teams go about it exactly the same way, well, it's, you know, you don't get that variety.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. And I think at this sort of tournament, you know, where we have teams coming in from all over the world, really. We've had teams from the States. On Instagram earlier, one of the teams shouted out there's a team here from India, one of the mixed teams.
There are indeed teams from Colombia, Dubai, Palestine.
Amazing. And I think that's when you're really going to see some of that beautiful, like, meeting of different styles, meeting of different approaches. Here we're seeing it between France and Belgium, so that's cool too.
Turnover on the end zone line and turn right back to Mooncatchers. Well, that didn't last long. Tchac. Shot for the end zone, and in the end they're going to run out of room. Thankfully, there's a nice cushioned goalpost.
Yeah, it just seemed a bit necessary in that instance.
Super necessary.
You can see if Tchac are able to maintain this really calm and spacious offense.
Or they could just put it deep. And it is brilliantly reeled in. What a snatch that is.
That was unbelievable, and I believe that was a trailing edge catch on a layout.
And then put it into the end zone and they spaff it away.
Big defensive play. I believe there's some sort of call there. There's discussion going on. No call, no call, I think that's what they're saying.
Oh, there's a travel right the way back on the throw. That feels underwhelming, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you see it quite often where there's been a big throw, something goes long, and that there's travel called on that throw, but because everyone's moved so far down the field, they just have no idea that there's been a stoppage called.
Yep.
And so they've managed to play on through a big layout grab, and then a couple passes, and then a block, and all of that's happened, and actually it all means nothing, and it goes back anyway.
I think it's Leo Stanguanek who made that ridiculous snatch for Tchac.
Yeah, amazing work. Unfortunately, doesn't mean a thing. So disc is going to come back in with the Tchac player.
Players are going to get set somewhere on the field. They might have been there. No one really knows at this point. Underneath, Faye just about makes the catch on the sideline. Looking for the swing, doesn't see it. Goes underneath instead to Bouillon. This will be Monus, no. Instead breaking all the way across the field. Oh! Stanguaneki made the difficult play and then couldn't get that one to stick.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. He went up, he had his hand comfortably to it. I think maybe there was like a little bit of casualness with that.
I think looking at the next throw.
Yeah, should have got 2 hands to it. There was no reason he didn't have a second hand up there as well. And just didn't nail it.
That's right, Rachel, roast him. Here's Mooncatchers for an arcing shot across the end zone and ripped down with authority by the Mooncatchers.
Yeah, it was a nice catch under pressure there. Able to come down with it, not too bothered by the Tchac player.
And 2-1 to Moon. See it again on the replay. Absolutely play without fear. That's Mooncatchers for you. And rising highest to pull it out of the sky.
Yeah, what was actually ended up being 2 Tchac players just to 1 Mooncatcher player, but they backed themselves and with good reason. So far I feel like we're seeing, like I said, calm and clinical offense from Tchac, but we're seeing sort of like fired up and like, you know, there's an energy to the Mooncatcher players which seems to be carrying them through so far. I mean, I know we're only 3 points into this game, but maybe a bit too early to lay the cards on the table like that.
Call your shot early, why not? Here's the ever reliable Bastien Chevalier catching the pull. Not that I'm biased, but he did very kindly host us last weekend, so thank you. And this one is absolutely gunned deep from Guillaume, but there is literally no one there.
There seems to be some sort of foul call on the field.
Yeah, Mathieu Bosset, he's always, he's generally recognisable with that blue hat and those gloves.
I think just having a chat with number 46, which is Didzis Maldaris, who was one of the commentators with Ulti TV at Tom's tourney.
Was indeed.
Quite a distinct character, quite a distinct voice.
Yeah, one of 3 Latvians on this team, along with Arvid Zolovskis and Tom Zabeltinch as well. You would think, oh, well, it's a French team and a Belgian team, so they'll converse in French. But of course, this is Latvian, so they'll talk in English and they're going to contest it and send it back.
Once again, the players have to try and figure out where they were a sort of mysterious number of
5
stalls
years ago.
Yeah. Disc is coming in on 3. They're happy where they're set, so that's good.
Everyone's set quite far away for those downfield passes, eventually squeezing it down the sideline. Quentin Roger wants to put the backhand deep. This should be Orlovskis, and he climbs the ladder to knock it away.
Yeah, went up incredibly early there, really backing himself, and managed to get his fingertips to that right at the peak of his jump. Super impressive, knowing exactly how high you can jump, when to take off. Like, that's an incredible defensive play there.
Here's Orlovskis swinging into the backfield. Thrown right back to Tchac. Roger sets up for the righty this time, and just leading pass into the end zone there for Vincent Abita. That'll bring us level again at 2 apiece.
As we said, big exciting plays from Mooncatchers, but clinical calm plays from Tchac. So a mismatch of styles, but hopefully going to bring a really exciting game. So far, every single throw, every single disc has been very contested.
Yeah, you feel like it's not going to be one of those games where it's really clean all the way through. It feels like there's going to be turns, but it's going to be a question of, how effective is each side at getting them back.
Yeah, and also the mental side of it, like which team can really make sure that they're sticking to their plan and they're keeping their energy up and they're keeping their cohesion throughout. Mooncatchers are also, Tchac are looking like they're putting on that sort of that clinical and clean and structured offense. We're seeing less of that from Mooncatchers, but that doesn't mean that they, have any less need for that cohesion across the team and across the line. Perhaps even more so, if they're going to be playing a little bit less structured. So it's really critical that both teams are able to keep their focus and their energy high throughout the game, keep their connection sweet.
That one just about snagged away. And hammered towards the back of the end zone. Picture perfect. Brilliant throw from Benjamin Jonkers. Or, to put it another way, bonkers. However you call it, it's bonkers. The two Jonkers brothers are young and athletic and are going to be powerhouses in the sport for years to come.
Yeah, I heard before the game to look out for the Jonker effect, and I didn't know what that meant, and I've suddenly understood. It sounded like maybe it was something clinical, or I don't know.
It's
no,
a little bit spicy, yeah.
Now we see the Jonker brothers, we understand.
Yeah, Ben 35 and Ref 38. 38? 88. That's obviously shirt numbers, not ages. Yeah, and they've got that little bit of the international element as well. I understand they're they are getting a couple of Americans are making the short journey to Cincinnati with them, in the form of Paul Arters and Johnny Bansfield as well. So, however it goes, with Mooncatchers, you get value for money. Just look at XUCF last year when they beat La Fota in the early pool stages, and then kind of wormed their way down the backdoor bracket.
It can be difficult with these big tournaments to keep the energy high after a big win.
Yeah, agreed.
Even just these 3-day tournaments, as they start to prepare for the season, are going to be really critical for making sure that they're practicing those sorts of things, mental game as well as physical game.
Axel Roger finds Bastien Chevalier. Now Bosser. Going back to Chevalier. Bosser once more. Crash, looks at the end zone. Quentin Roger. Nice little inside break there to Chevalier, and the two of them. It's just like playing catch in the park to make it 3 apiece.
Mooncatcher defense not really having an answer for the Tchac offense at the moment. Not seeing them generating turns on those offensive points. It feels like when Tchac get the disc, it's a matter of time till they walk it up to the end zone, move through their players, use the space, nice and calm, trusting each other to get free, moving it up and securing that score. I think the Mooncatcher defense is going to need to turn it up a couple notches if they want to start generating those turns.
Yeah, when Tchac's in rhythm, there is an air of inevitability about the offense, isn't there?
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's calm and it's like decisive, but it sort of has that sort of confidence, quiet confidence.
So the ball's coming up for Moon. Oh, that's not going to land in bounds. Don't know whereabouts exactly it went out. But I think Ben Jonkers will bring it in at the brick mark. So the Mooncatchers offense is on the move. Reset back. High down the sideline. Ref Jonkers Turns, pivots in field, finds his brother Ben. This one always tipped. It was rising, and he couldn't reel it in. Tchac pick up with a chance to bring this game back on serve. Mooncatchers broke on the first point, but that's the only break so far. And on a high stall, Fai has no option but to lash it deep. Might have found a target he likes though, and it is ripped out of the sky for Tchac by Paul Bouillon to bring us back on serve. Tchac lead 4-3.
Tchac doing a great job there of making sure that they're not letting Mooncatchers get away with anything. You know, they're not going to let them creep that scoreline further apart or even maintain that distance. They're going to keep fighting, keep pushing, get that turn from an overthrow. That throw came in too high, and despite their best efforts of the defender, they weren't able to come down with it. And Tchac are going to use that straight away into a beautiful huck. Under pressure though, I mean, Mooncatchers did a great job of getting down there, but
yeah, Bouillon is also not the tallest player in that matchup, but got a brilliant read on the disc. Timed his giant to perfection.
The inevitability we discussed, maybe.
I know you can't teach tall, but there are other ways. Mercifully.
Yeah, being tall is an asset, but it's not the only thing. I'm fairly tall for the women's game, and I have to say I think it's probably made me lazier. So maybe sometimes it can be a curse as well as a blessing.
See, I'm also fairly short for the women's game. Oh, that's a really good pull that Mooncatchers don't do a great job of dealing with. Don't think anyone got a touch on it before it rolled out of the end zone, so they'll get the chance to bring it to the front. Faking the backhand, trying to move that mark around. Still count rising towards the sideline. It's just too far for Garnier to bid. Ref Yonkers wanted the deep option. Might have to go and reset it back to his brother, and he blades around the mark to find it.
Yonkers seemed to be disappointed there wasn't a deep option for him, so he's gone and done it himself.
This one, he's trying to milk it all the way into the end zone. Catches it in front of Lièvre. And now it's just going to float this one up in there. This might have had a little bit of pressure, but not enough. Mooncatchers with the scintillating score for 4-all.
Yeah, Yonkers definitely had the disc near his own end zone line, was frustrated to not see anyone deep, was waving his hands, asking where was the deep cut, I want to put it deep. Passes it off and then just says, fine, I'll do it myself.
I mean, he might have said another word beginning with F, but we won't repeat that.
Can't possibly speculate on that.
Not at all.
Big defensive pressure from Tchac. There was quite a significant play to try and stop that. Yonkers from catching that one, but unfortunately, I think we're seeing the replay now. Maybe a little after the fact, but valiant nonetheless. But no, unable to stop it, and nice and calm, waiting for the next Mooncatcher player to come in and calmly get that score. So it's 4-all.
Yeah, it's tight, isn't it? It's exactly what you want to see, and it's exactly why teams and fans love Swiss draw, because it means you get these tight games all the way through the tournament. All hail the almighty algorithm. Chevalier fills the pool and he finds Quentin Roger. Going towards the sideline now, trying to thread it through this Mooncatcher zone. This Tchac side can play with pace when they want to. Roger dumps it off this time. Nissan to the far sideline. That's a little bit low, but reeled in. Bonnet goes back to Roger. Chevalier. This one's threaded through, finds the seam in the defense and exploits it through to Mathieu Basser. Tchac back up, 5-4.
Yep, very calm from Tchac. Seems like they're picking up the pace a little bit. Perhaps there's a bit more pressure from Mooncatchers on that point, but again, just calmly, patiently looking for the dump, finding those gaps in the middle, moving the disc up. Didn't seem too ruffled, didn't seem too concerned. Which is it's a great thing to be able to maintain even when they were a point down. You know, they've brought it back up and they're back on serve now, but they were a break down and they have maintained a calm and level head, which is a brilliant asset for a team.
I don't want to keep harping on about the French Nationals final last weekend, which you can watch for free on LTTV, but they were 6-1 down in that game, and they brought it back. And so for the final few points, it was neck and neck. And clearly, you know, that experience of being that far down in an important game against your close rivals, and still, you know, bringing it all the way back is a big confidence booster in a way.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be feeding in significantly, that kind of calm knowledge of knowing that you've done it before and you can do it again if you have to, but also maybe thinking just like, don't put us in that situation again, please.
Yes. Yeah, the offense on that day for Tchac at the start of the game was funky, but like not in a James Brown sense. Mooncatchers on offense. Here's Ben Yonkers. Trying to zing that inside flick through, finds the target, and now they're looking deep, streaking towards the end zone, and Demesmaker is where he needs to be. That'll be 5 apiece. 5 all, I think. Have another look at it on the replay. Inside break is a good way to get a little bit of space. And, you know, the mark it's not fully set, but it's close enough to maybe cause a little bit of trouble. And the put is still absolutely perfect.
Yeah, that was really well weighted, got round the defender. The defender obviously just somehow had got caught on the back foot, was a step behind and a step sort of to the wrong side, not defending that open side. So that throw was able to come nicely round the outside and sit down in front of the player, who managed to chase that down and catch that more or less in full stride, I think. So beautiful play. And now a huge pull.
Yeah, going with that backhand blade. Where's it going to drop? It's going to drop in the end zone, I think.
Oh, I think it rolled out and then into the back of the end zone, so it will be taken from...
They get a chance to bring it from the front. Let's go! And immediately swinging to get it off the line. Chevalier to Roger. This is low, and his brother can't scoop it. Throwing error.
Gifting the disc to Mooncatchers with a short field.
What can Moon do? Calling for options, squaring up, really trying to manipulate the mark around. This will float a little bit, but not a problem. Shows that lefty. Just puts it away for now. Little flick out. Bid, flies through but doesn't get there. Looking for the lower break. Oh my word, what a break as well. Devilish in the delivery. And that'll give Mooncatchers the lead again. They're up 6-5.
Yeah, that was a nice break. I think there's just something to be said for that really kind of simple and well executed. You step around your mark and you get that backhand out when they're putting on a backhand force, or you know, the flip side. It's just it's something that you know, a lot of players attempt, and oftentimes there's contact or various things. So when it's done like cleanly and executed well, it's a fundamental that's lovely to see, and very effective, evidently.
Yeah, at the top level, you expect players to be able to break the force with regularity, but there's breaking the force, and then there's breaking the force, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and I mean, the kind of the flip side of that is at the top level, the force being put on you is also going to be, you know, one of the most brutal and aggressive forces, and you know, it's going to be very, very responsive and very proactive, and so it's going to be that much harder to break. But sometimes you just need to make that decisive decision and put it around them, and that really just opens up the field. Yeah,
have the confidence to not just take what the mark's giving you, but to actively take it on.
Take what the mark doesn't want to give you.
Precisely that. Chevalier with a little lead pass out in front of Abita. This one, oh, brilliant bit on the far sideline to knock that disc out of bounds. Mooncatchers, you can tell that they're a little bit pumped now.
Yeah, they've got a big sideline who's not afraid to get vocal. I see some cap shaking and cheering. Definitely here to amp up their teammates on the field.
Yeah, ridiculous athleticism on show as it usually is for Mooncatchers. But that time, under pressure from the Force, can't find the target.
Well, I think the Force got a hand to that. I think as we were just saying, like, you know, this defensive pressure is huge at this level. These players know what the thrower wants to do and know how to move in to try and block that.
And they just illustrated our point. Has to go to ground, but the disc is saved by Guillaume. Bosser wants to break the mark, but will have to go underneath instead. Here's a potential for a deep put. Oh my word! Orlovskis crushes the foot block.
This has been a very decisive point for defensive efforts. I mean, we've had point block, foot block.
Layout bid down the sideline.
Yep.
And what a way to waste all that cool points by taking a timeout. Disgraceful decision. But I get it, you know, everything's getting a little bit het up maybe, perhaps. So just cool it out a little bit, take a breather. We'll do the same here in the booth, but we'll be back with you very shortly. So you're seeing in the background there, 7-5 is the score, with Is No Good up on Clapham. So potentially early upset alert there, maybe, who knows?
Yeah, any team going up against Clapham seems like an upset, but Is No Good have come into this tournament off of their Tom's Tourney win. They're feeling very confident. They've got two very significant pickups from the US, joining them on their way to Worlds. So yeah, it's potentially an upset in terms of the way that Europe usually is structured, but definitely there are more and more teams looking competitive in the open division.
Yeah, they came from behind to beat Clapham at Tom's Tourney, and but they did lose to Clapham's UK rival Chevron early in the day. Here's the reset to Orlovskis. Faking the flick. Sun baking down here in Amsterdam. Looking for options. Thinking about the deep instead. Just floats this one. Bontemps wants to shoot towards the back of the end zone. Going to be a little bit of a stretch. Not at all. What waiting on that throw. Mooncatchers will break once more and they'll go up 7-5.
Yeah, it was a beautiful option there. I just think there's an incredible amount of trust on that side. From where we're sitting, which was more or less in line with the thrower, from this angle, you could see that the Mooncatcher cutter was deeper than the defender, but you really couldn't see how much separation there was. But it doesn't matter to Mooncatchers, you know, they trust. If their player is deeper, whether it's like an inch or a meter or a mile, then they're going to try and put it out there and trust that they're going to come down with it. So incredible work from Mooncatchers to just really see the opportunity, and as we said, that kind of fearless, you know, if it's on, we're going to take it. We're not super worried about whether it's, you know, like the highest probability pass or if it's, you know, the kind of academically perfect option. Doesn't matter. It's if it's good, it's good. Let's do it. And if it's exciting, even better.
Yeah. Yeah, they feel like a team that might look over the safe, sensible option in favour of something riskier, but a lot more fun.
Which, as viewers, obviously is great for us.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Mooncatchers know how to play to the crowd, it seems.
That is true. That is not an allegation that I think has ever been really been made against them. And it'll be the Latvian import, Orlovskis, to pull. And again, he's booming that backhand blade. So I'm into the centre of the pitch.
Tchac a little bit more prepared for it this time.
Faking a deep option. Le Pagnol goes into the backfield, trying to play on the move a little bit more now. Flow stops, turns, resets. Chevalier. Just a little sneaky inside there.
Tchac looking happy just to walk this up the field, dump it, swing it around, take those little gainers.
Fall. This time the lefty sees an opportunity to play it down the sideline, but it's too high, it just arises. He was looking for Lilievre.
Under a lot of pressure from Mooncatchers there. Not only was the player's defensive player there, but I think 2 or 3 other blue shirts streaking in. It would have been a very, very difficult catch, particularly under that amount of pressure.
Yeah, Tchac crossing some players from their D-line over to play offense, and it didn't work for them on that occasion. Orlovskis looking underneath, trying to use that full length to get around the mark. Here's the deep option. A couple of players there, but it's in stride for Sofiane Bonton. Mooncatchers looking to break for half, and they can't do it.
Yeah, he got a hand to that, but I think just managed to sort of mack it on, punt it on. Got that, pushed it that little bit further, not able to bring that in. Looked to see if he could have a second shot at it, but unfortunately not able to come down with it.
Tchac wants an option again. Le Pagnol really pump faking those, but the mark's doing a very good job of making himself big to get in the way. Le Pagnol comes underneath on this near side. Turns, looks. It should be to Axel Roger. He gets it. Fakes the inside there to just a little dish it off, but that's never going to go, not in that tight of a window. Le Pagnol. Slightly higher release, not a problem. Oh, the lefty hammers it over the top. Slightly tough read, but Alexandre Fall makes it look effortless, and it's 7-6.
I think that was our first slightly spicier option from Tchac.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, and it wasn't an unsafe option. It was just, you know, perhaps not the kind of more of the same dumping, swinging, moving it through the middle. But yeah, a great look, well executed. It came in pretty fast. It wasn't a slow-moving hammer by any measure, but that meant that it didn't have a chance for the defensive player to see what was happening in time to make a proper play on it. So. Not a bad option by any means.
And there's something about the lefty throwing it that seems so much more unexpected for some reason.
Why is that? I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't know either. I think it's just because so many players are righty, but I feel like lots of left-handed players, they have the same like favoured throws, and often it's like those inside backhands which you can kind of get on the run, and you don't tend to see them hammer it so much. I think maybe because those hammers from the lefties aren't to the break side, they'll be more to the open side. So whenever it does happen, it just catches me a little bit more unawares. Stun Gwenek will pull. And a little miscommunication as to who's to field it. Ben Yonkers. Nice yard gainer underneath Demesmaker. And now here's Ref Yonkers. Force trying to get big. It's put deep down the sideline. Defenders underneath it, and is able to get a big palm in there and knock it away.
Yeah, that Mooncatchers' faith perhaps not working out for them on that occasion. The cut was already quite deep when that throw went up, so they were sort of a little bit static as it came in, weren't able to kind of really move into space and run onto the throw as they have on those previous iterations of that same look. So I think perhaps that's why that was like slightly less successful, you know, a turnover.
That was thrown into a very congested area, and uncontested foul, to the surprise of, I think, literally no one. Bouillon goes back into the backfield. Again, Tchac trying to break to bring us level. This one, oh, just about gets it through. Bonnet towards the far sideline. Here's Conan Tangreo. Goes all the way across. Bouillon. Faye, who's the rock of that D-line offense. Tchac just getting away with maybe a couple of these, but they are making him stick. This time leading it out into space.
A lot of contact on these defensive plays, like not getting to the disc, but just kind of putting, perhaps not. Ooh!
Whoa! Made that look a lot easier than it is.
That was an outrageous grab, getting so high for that one.
Ludicrous athleticism from Elliot Bonnet. But they're not really go. Oh, I was going to say they're not really going anywhere. They are going somewhere, and at the moment it's backwards, all the way to the halfway line now.
But they're calm, you know. They're not riled up. Like Mooncatchers putting them under a lot of pressure, but they're happy to just swing it, to move it backwards, to move it along themselves.
Yeah, when you've got players of this quality, going backwards is not really a problem, especially in these sorts of conditions, because if anything, you just give yourself more space to work with, and you can get the disc moving and get it in motion. That's going to be a pick downfield.
Yeah, I think moving backwards is also moving. They're also moving laterally as they make that backwards movement. They're losing yards, but they're gaining lateral movement, which is what they need to kind of upset the defense a bit and find those options, attack from a new angle, give new opportunities to get free. So works out fine for them, and as we've seen, they've just moved it from moving backwards to very much moving forwards.
That ability to flip the script, so crucial at this level. Bonnet fakes the lefty. Looks reset instead. A little bit behind Faye, but he makes a catch no problem. Really wants to fire this in there, and he's got it for Galaxy Point. It's going to be 7-all.
I don't want to just keep saying the same thing, but I don't know what else to say. Tchac just doing an incredible job of the fundamentals, and it's just so calm, and they trust each other, and they know what their offense is, and they're finding the space. They're moving the disc around. The defensive pressure from Mooncatchers is definitely increasing over the last few points. That felt much more frantic. We were seeing a lot of physicality, a lot of contact on a lot of those Tchac catches. They were getting a lot of Mooncatcher arms and legs and bodies as they sort of came down with the disc, and perhaps the defender wasn't quite able to contain themselves, but just weren't riled, weren't bothered by it, able just to stay calm. If they needed to move backwards, they move backwards. They move the disc across the field, and then they wait, and then they find the options. And I'm a big fan of how they hold themselves together and they play their own game. And I think it's very easy in these tight games, particularly against, I'm sure these teams have played each other a bunch of times, they're neighbours, but particularly when it's like the team, you can often get a bit riled up. Maybe there's history there, but
or against a team who plays such a different style to you.
Yeah, absolutely. That can also be a bit of a mental challenge, but Tchac just doing an amazing job of their nice, calm, clinical offense, which I am a fan of, if you hadn't noticed.
So here we go. Galaxy Point is going to begin with a brick. Slightly underwhelming.
There was a lot of ambition in that pool. If it had managed just to keep coming directly down, that would have been sensational, but unfortunately just tailed out in the last few moments.
Ben Yonkers puts it out into space. Faking of the backhand. This time, sneaky look. Rongier can't close in time.
It's not what a dump throw is really supposed to look like, but if it works for you, it works for you,
Yeah, that's the thing about playing in this quote-unquote unorthodox style. It looks weird for other teams, but if you know it's coming, more power to it. Mooncatchers, maybe just, showing something different here by keeping it calm and steady. Nice find into the middle of the field there, dished off to Ben Yonkers. Faking the high release. Now getting on the run towards the far sideline. Back in Yonkers' hands. Lovely break side movement. Travel, maybe. I think Lily of saying that he was rounding the corner a little bit.
Yeah, of course, when you have the disc, you are allowed to pivot, and of course, when you catch the disc, you are allowed to slow down, but you're not allowed to change direction. That's seen as kind of taking an advantage. So disc comes back.
Can Mooncatchers keep their composure? Ref Yonkers wants to hammer towards the back of the end zone and is expertly reeled in. And Mooncatchers will take half 8-7 here in what has been a barnstormer of a game, Rachel.
Yeah, this is incredible. It's really, really amazing to see these two different teams, two different styles, battling against each other. You can see that each of them are fully in it. They're going to fight all the way, you know, right down to the line. So I think we're in for a stormer. In the game only, the sun is still baking us.
Oh, mate, it is sweltering out here. You're having a look at some of the live scores from around the tournament at the moment. Of particular interest to you, let me see how the other French sides are doing. Well, Is No Good, currently up 9-8 on Clapham. Chevron, who beat Is No earlier this morning, up 7-6 on Foy.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ultimate.tv.
Take their time and step up, and a huge run goes deep. Becky has it in her grasp, and it's a goal! My goodness, Elise Becker, you legend!
The break side, Murphy, and then floats that one out. Huge bid, gets the touch. What a grab! DV!
We believe mixed is the best for the sport, for the world. That's why we're making a global showcase, starting in Europe, made in Amsterdam. LTV. LTV.net.
So loads of tournaments happening, which you can attend either as a player or a spectator. You can find them on Ultical.
Welcome back to Ulti TV's coverage of Windmill 2022 Open Division action for you, round 4 for the Open and Women's divisions. And at the moment, Mooncatchers are up 8-7 on Tchac. And a very Northern European flavour to this matchup.
Yeah, it's an incredible game we have here. Two teams, neighbours geographically, but very different styles that we've seen so far. Both making big athletic plays, big bids, tight defense, but offensively we've seen a very different approach. It's meant that this is just very exciting. Each point you never really know how it's going to go.
It's an engrossing contest.
Definitely. Definitely I am engrossed in this game. Really enjoying seeing these two sides match up against each other. Tchac with the sort of clinical, calm fundamentals, just flawless offense, and Mooncatchers with a little bit of spice, a little bit of sauce, a little bit less structure, a little bit more fiery, a little bit more fired up, which works great for them. But as we can see, the score is 8-7 to Mooncatchers. And so, it's anyone's game. They're both in it. They both do what they do so well. It's a pleasure to watch.
Mooncatchers are going to be receiving coming out of half. Tchac making seagull noises, which is, I must admit, not great for as someone who once had seagulls living in their chimney. It was all right. I was on the ground floor. My flatmates on the top floor. They were in trouble.
It sounds painful to talk about.
I'm not a fan of seagulls. Here's Ref Yonkers as the second half is underway. Dumps to his brother Ben. Tchac trying something a little bit different defensively. I like it. Starting just by gumming up those downfield movements and for them transitioning into going flat one-on-one. They've got a player out the back. It's absolutely pinged. It's on the spot, but it's not quite in the end zone. That will be with a little bit of a long jump athleticism.
Hilarious effort to make sure that was in the end zone. Being able to leave the ground, catch it, and make sure that you're traveling far enough to get in the end zone is one thing, but that was definitely sort of a little bit of a cartoon attempt, I think, but very effective. So who am I to say? Who am I to
works.
Bring any negativity to that? I loved it. I think it was a great effort. Did the job. Looked fantastic.
Even a little dump for a score is entertaining in Moon's hands. I still can't get over how hard it is this late in the day.
Yeah, it's very hard to not talk about it all the time. But
I think it's now that the sun's beginning to kind of dip a little bit. It's kind of coming straight at us.
Yeah, we are really roasting. Roasting here in the commentary booth.
Yeah, it's sweltering.
But we'll try not to go on about it too much.
Go on about what?
Seagulls in the chimney.
Nightmares. Here's Roger. Bump on the mark.
Going to be a quite clear foul call there.
Yeah, uncontested. And checked in. Axel Roger. Oh, cheeky. That backhand blade over the top finds Chevalier. Here's Quentin Roger. Takes a little dump off and then gets it straight back. His brother squirrels his way free in the backfield. That is going to be a stoppage.
It's a pick call, but it's unclear. Oh,
it's an injury. Yeah, number 52 for Mooncatchers. He's walking off gingerly, clutching his groin. Ouch.
We wish him all the best. Hope he's not too injured. Maybe he just needs to walk it off.
Yeah, those are painful ones. Here's Bosse. Coming in off the stoppage. Boosting it deep. And it's knocked away.
Another hugely athletic defensive effort there. Number 2 for Mooncatchers, just going up early, decisively. We can see here on the replay, reading that really well, managed to just not even get in front of the player. I thought maybe he managed to move around and get position, but I think he just sort of took a step so he could attack the disc that moment earlier.
We don't have a full roster for Mooncatchers, but he's made a couple of plays this game, number 2, and he looks annoyingly young as well.
He does.
He's someone who was no longer that.
Flush of youth about him.
Either that or he's got chronic baby face. Olofskis jacks it down the far sideline and always ends up jacking it to it's no good. Well, when you're on the D-line, you tend to get a bit more license to shoot. Trust that you can maybe get it back a bit more easily. And that time it didn't come off, but I don't think that will dissuade him from doing it again in future.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I'm sure if you see that 88 shirt of Jonker's streaking deep, you're pretty confident to just try and get something down there to him, and he'll do the rest. Unfortunately, though, he was not able to make a play on that one. That was very out of the field.
Oh, it's too far for Axel Roger, and it's gone straight back to Mooncatchers. And that's going to be a timeout. Mooncatchers know that going up 3 this late on could be crucial, so they're just going to take their time with it a little bit. And while they take a breather, we'll do the same here in the booth, but we'll be back with you imminently.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Welcome back to Ulti TV's coverage of Windmill 2022. Benji Rees alongside Rachel Douglas, bringing you open division action, open round 4. Tchac down 7-9 to Mooncatchers, and Mooncatchers have the disc with a chance to break to extend their lead to 3. If you've been watching the commercials and enjoying our coverage here at Windmill and you want to get involved, there are multiple ways to do that. You can like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, ring the bell for notifications as well, and others as well, for the cost as little of, I'll put my teeth back in, for the cost of as little as a pint of beer a month, you can help us to bring as much Ultimates to the people as we can. And that, I think, is worth drinking to. Cheers.
Cheers, absolutely. We've got more games. This is the last game of the day today, but we've got more games all the rest of the weekend. And then, of course, next weekend we also have London Invite.
Yeah, and then from London Invite, double teaming at Limerick as well. Yep. Curse of the Turn now instantly bites Mooncatchers. And it's back to Tchac. Playing it in the backfield. This would be huge if they can make it stick on this occasion. Right on the sideline. Faking the backhand, goes to the flick and does eventually find Roger. Just playing it calm with the resets at the moment. Guillou finds Bosser. That is low, but a nice sliding catch made by Crash. Quentin Roger. He wants to put this over the top. He's looking for Nissan, and he rises and makes the grab for 8-9.
Yeah, unfortunate numbers there. Two Tchac players open in the end zone there. Maldoris making a valiant effort to try and get there, put some pressure on that catch, but the numbers were against him. It was 2 white shirts to 1 blue. And they were comfortably going to come down with that one, I think.
Yeah, you're just kind of hoping, even if you don't get the disc, you're doing enough to put one or both of them off from getting it. And
yeah, you see it time and time again, just being there, putting that pressure on, making sure that you're in their eye line. They hear you, they hear the kind of stomp of your feet as you come up. They feel you right next to them. They know you're going up, and either maybe they are forced to go up early and overshoot it, misread the disc and try and take it too early, or maybe they just fumble it. You know, it's a pressure D is a very legitimate attempt if you haven't managed to sort of shut down that option in the first instance. So a great effort is always worth working hard. It's always worth making sure that every single thing that other team is doing is under pressure, but unfortunately didn't pay off in that case.
Yeah, what's the thing? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That sounds like some live music beginning to warm up in Iggy Square as Mooncatchers field the pull. High release, goes with the backhand to the messmaker. Squeeze through, but at the moment Mooncatchers having to be a little bit more conservative in their offense.
Seeing a slightly poachy look on the handlers from the defense there. They were really shutting down those downfield options.
And this one is rifled down the sideline. What a put, a thing of beauty. We'll put Moon up 10-8. Love that throw rate.
Yeah, that was amazing. And of course, as I say, shutting down those downfield options, they've moved the disc, found an amazing downfield option, and
it's classic,
decisively take it. But yeah, that was lovely. That was really nice play. And I think that's Moon just really showing that, yeah, they are the spicier side, but they also, like, you know, that doesn't mean they don't have those fundamentals. And when they need to, they will move the disc, they'll dump it, they'll swing it. And then they'll find that option, and that was money.
They'll bang it eventually, but sometimes they'll find the right time.
Yeah, but I mean, like that. You know, that wasn't a spicy throw. It was a great throw. But it was like a weighted. It was a, you know, it was a safe option. It was a really high percentage option. So, you know, I still count that under sort of calm and collected, rather than spice.
Yeah.
But it was lovely nonetheless.
Got it. So with Mooncatchers up 2, they're pulling to Tchac, who are opting to let this hit the floor and roll out the back of the end zone. A sensible choice, I think, rather than trying to maybe risk fielding it awkwardly and going right to the back.
I agree.
Tchac, find the underneath option there. That's Bonnet. On the far sideline with Bosser. Nissen tries to squirrel himself free as the reset. Now a little blade. Ooh, I thought it might be a slightly awkward catch, but Abita sticks it, no problem. Roger. Bosser. Gesticulating exactly where he wants the next cut to go. And Quentin Roger obliges. Not far outside the end zone now, on the precipice, and getting it in as well.
It's the inevitable offense. Strikes again. Just calm, collected. They know what they're going to do. They know they're under pressure, but they're not worried about it. Move the disc up the field.
It does not faze them one iota, you feel?
Not at all. I think as a player, and as a player who's played on a lot of different kind of teams with different styles and you know, at different levels, it's really...
A wild trailer appeared.
Maybe they didn't want me to tell the
No,
story.
I was interested. I didn't know where that was going. Continue.
Leave them wanting more. No, it's really inspirational, I think, actually, to see the way that Tchac play. You know, I think that both teams are sensational and are putting on an amazing show. But there's something about the sort of level-headedness, I think, that is really commendable, and it's something that so many teams strive for, but is actually really, really hard to generate. So to be able to have that such a strong foundation, and such a sort of like a strong and unshakable approach. You know, that's something really hard to instate. So it's incredible that they have that as they do, and it's something that I think other teams, certainly teams I've played on and teams I've played against, you know, all of us, I think, could take a leaf out of that book.
I love that we just got two sides with such distinct styles. So it means that, you know, when you get players coming in or you're thinking about who to recruit, you know, people are under any I can't think of the word. They're not under any false impressions. They know exactly what you do. And so it makes it a lot easier to find players that fit as that time. A couple of Tchac players combined for the D. And it's Alexandre Fall who makes the catch in the end. And dumps it off to Faye. And a D-line anchor. And it is hand blocked by ref Yonkers.
Yeah, Jeuken's just read that perfectly, knew exactly what he was about to do, moved right into that space, was having none of it.
His brother Ben picks up, constantly threatening that around, sneaks it off. Fella fakes a scuba, but puts it back in the locker. Going back around to Ben Jonkers. Continuation down the far sideline. Well, that's textbook dump and swing offense from Mooncatchers.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's a little disappointing.
Yeah, I know, right? And yet when Tchac did it, you were like, this is brilliant.
I know. We want the different styles. No, that was lovely. That was calm. And as we said, like Moon obviously have both sides. You know, they have that spice, but I think you can only really get to the level that they play at. As a spicy team, you only get there once you've nailed the fundamentals. You know, it's not like you go straight from not knowing how to throw a disc to only throwing hammers. You know, you have to learn. You have to have everything in your arsenal. Once you know how to do the fundamentals well, then you can start moving on to kind of the more exciting and exploratory plays and throws. But yeah, Moon showing that they're not afraid to sort of take the calm option either.
Tchac did so well to get the turn, and then Ref Jonkers just had other ideas. Seeing he's looking for the throw and go, and Ref reads it perfectly. So here's the pool, again, that blading backhand.
Questions of did he touch it on the field, just trying to clarify where the disc is going to come in. If he touched it, it will need to be where it went out, but I think they're saying no, he didn't touch it, so it will be coming in on the front line of the end zone.
Did this Mandarist just jokingly made the call to check the video? Axel Roger pings it central. Nista. Oh, cheeky, looking for the high release to Chevalier, but handler and reset not on the same page there for the end zone. Oh my word, I think that just caught him more than he caught it, but it works regardless. 12-9.
Yeah, that was not a pretty point. You know, that was a turnover that you never want to see on like a simple dump pass, just like a miscommunication. Not really sure what happened there, but obviously didn't come together, turned over, and then a decisive look to the end zone, but a very surprised receiver. Wasn't pretty, but it did the job.
Yeah, the receiver just turns over the wrong shoulder here, I think. But either way, he's in the right place at the right time. You can call him lucky, but the harder you practice, the luckier you get, as a wise man once said.
Absolutely, yeah. And great reaction. I think he looked a little bit surprised to sort of turn around and suddenly find the disc in his hands.
Now that's precision.
You know, that's
when it's literally like, here is disc, you catch it now.
Muscle memory. It was in his hands before he even knew what was going on.
Mooncatchers up 12-9 here. Time ticking away, not long left. About 2 or 3 minutes left. Tchac down 9-12 to Mooncatchers, so the win might be beyond them now. But they're still going to try and put as many points on the board and put them on quickly. Oh, it was a good put for Bosser, and he just lost sight of it. Maybe when he was looking back, he just looked into the sun, didn't get the location of the disc at all.
Yeah, very unfortunate. That was a great look, really nice throw, well weighted, but sometimes it just doesn't come together.
Sometimes with turns we say it's unfortunate when actually it's just bad. That one really did feel like unfortunate. Meanwhile, here's the sky ball to Orlovskis, who climbs Jacob's ladder and brings it down. And going to be a stoppage. Injury, I think.
Good spirit there. I think he had a little bit of a collision with 95 as they went up for the disc, and 95 comes back just to make sure that they're cool. Seems like everything's good. He just needs to take a sub.
Yeah, Ben Jonkers is going to come on to replace. Oh, there's a couple of subs, actually. So obviously multiple players having to go off injured. I didn't see where the others came from. But that's the hooter for the end of the game. So this will be the last point. Mooncatchers will try and put this in for a hard-earned 13-9 victory. Still count rising, so they reset. Looking around, about threading it through and zinging the flick. Still not in. Oh, the nonchalance, the cheek of it all.
That was absolute finishing in Mooncatchers style to catch that one, and then I don't know if he was looking, but it looked from this angle like a no-look scuba right into that corner for the score, taking it high. But yeah, if you're going to finish off a game like Mooncatchers, then that's how you do it.
Players are going to the line, but I was under the impression that that was it.
I think there's a little bit of discussion, but from our perspective, that is game, that is the score. Here we have a replay of that final point. Catch, no look scuba, Sky, take it high. And that's the game. Although Tchac players look like they're walking to the line still.
Yeah, Bastien Chevalier just coming over to check and agreeing that it is done, it is in the books. Mooncatchers will take a 13-9 victory. Ben Jonkers walks away, arm aloft. Really entertaining game, that one.
Yeah, that was a real pleasure to watch. Really exciting stuff. Did this Maldoris come over to the commentary booth to say hi?
Yeah, go on, I'll let him say something. There's no way this could end badly.
You know what I want to say. Sheesh!
There were a number of times in this game when I thought about saying that for him, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But thankfully, we didn't have to do it ourselves. We managed to outsource the.
Yeah, came in at the end, taking all the glory. Disgraceful. No, good win for Mooncatchers. They'll be satisfied with their day out here, as you can just see on the far field. The game between Clapham and Isnogood will finish tied at 13 apiece. So these are all teams that we potentially could be seeing in the brackets at the end of tomorrow and on Sunday. So keep your eyes peeled here to OTTV coverage of Windmill. But that is day one in the books. Done and dusted. It's been a glorious day. I say done and dusted. I mean, in terms of the Frisbee, there's nothing else to be streamed. In terms of the extracurricular activities, there is the beer race, there's the big old mingle going on tonight. There's all sorts of stuff going on at Windmill, and hopefully we'll get some cameras out and about so you can see exactly what happens at this tournament. Keep your eyes peeled on the social media channels. But that will do it for us here for day one on our coverage of Windmill 2022. A reminder that if you are enjoying our coverage, you can like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications so you know precisely what the moment we go live tomorrow morning. And for the price of a pint of beer a month, you can help support OTTV in bringing Ultimate to the masses and join us. Find more information on our Patreon page, patreon.com/ulttv, and we would love to have you with us. Had fun today, Rachel?
Yeah, it's been a great day. Looking forward now to getting out of the sun and grabbing a beer.
God, yes. Absolutely, God, yes. Thank you so much for Rachel. I've been, and still am, Benji Rees, for all of our wonderful, hard-working crew here at UltiTV. Thank you very much. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning when we're back in action with the mixed division. Cheers, everyone. We'll see you on the other side.
Bichon picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing
Can
here.
Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score for Hartlinger Elverkel. Fantastic run by Julia Love.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
And we believe that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationships with tournament organisers, events and federations.
And you'll help us to produce live stories for Ultimate fans, and to generate new fans with our enhanced content.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches, and video enthusiasts, and we want to bring you coverage on a more consistent basis. We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Ciao ragazzi, support the community.
Let's subscribe Ulti TV. There's lots of the videos, posting, everything. Check it out. They are the best one. Woo!
If you want to grow Ultimate Sports, become a member of Ulti TV.
Regardez Ulti TV.
Deviens un membre d'Ulti TV et fais grandir ta communauté.
Top Ulti TV dalme eroginkime Ultimate vendromena.
Si quieres ayudar a Ulti TV, puedes ser miembro de Ulti TV.
Everyone, follow Ulti.tv on Instagram, on YouTube. They've got everything.
Best content.
Like their pictures if you love frisbee. Just do it.
We're counting on you.
Bli medlem på Ulti TV.
Became member
of Ulti TV.
Mamma mia.
Contribue au développement d'Ultimate avec Ulti TV.
Like and subscribe, Ulti TV, the best in the world.
We want to grow Ultimate.
we want to grow Ultimate. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We have our signature style 2-camera setup,
with thousands of hours of experience,
and our crew is globally dispersed to facilitate coverage everywhere around the world. We can also scale back our broadcast with just one elevated camera, or scale up with 2 fields, 2 cameras, and 2 commentators on each.
We work with local teams and we all have the same mission, to grow the sport and bring it to new people by providing live coverage and news stories.
Become a member today on our Patreon page.
And fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories, ideas and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
We believe mixed is the best for the sport, for the world. That's why we're making a global showcase, starting in Europe, made in Amsterdam. LTV. LTV.net.
So loads of tournaments happening, which you can attend either as a player or a spectator. You can find them on Ultical.
Fireball summer, honeymoon lovers, seeing no colors. Love me all summer, making discovers under your covers.
Ulti.tv